This year Mazda celebrates 100 years of brand history. Mazda started in 1920. The company was founded on January 30th, 1920, and in the beginning, in the first years, it produced industrial products made of cork or cork substitutes, which were used as seals, for example. At the end of the 20s, Mazda started to change from cork products to engineering products. So this was Mazda's first motor vehicle, the Mazda Go from 1931. As you can tell, this is a transportation vehicle and it was available in 50 different versions, and it had payloads of 500 kilograms up to 2 tons, which is quite a lot for such a small vehicle. Then came World War II. The atomic bombing of Hiroshima, of course, where Mazda's headquarters is located, brought everything to a standstill. But quickly after the war they started building vehicles again. First trucks, and the first real passenger car that Mazda put on the market in Japan was the R360. As you can tell, it's pretty small. I mean, back then cars were smaller, people were also smaller back then, but I don't imagine 4 people sitting in that one. Maybe it was different in the old days. With just 16 horsepower, it's maybe better that way. At the end of the 1960s, Mazda vehicles were already being sold in individual European markets. In Germany it took a little longer. Mazda Motors Germany as a sales company was founded in 1972, and then in 1973 they started to sell vehicles, in small numbers at the beginning. For example, the Mazda RX-3 that was offered as a 4-door sedan, a 2-door coupe and a 5-door station wagon. The RX-3 was an equipment and engine variant of the Mazda 818 and was sold in Japan under the name Mazda Savannah. The 2-liter engine produced 110 horsepower, which was transmitted to the rear axle via a 4-speed manual transmission. In 1967, Mazda presented this beauty, the Cosmo Sport. But not only did it look good, it also had something special under the hood, the first rotary engine in series production. And throughout the years, Mazda sold more than 1 million cars with rotary engines, and that also includes the RX-8 and RX-7. And even for today's Mazda electric vehicles, this kind of engine still has its purpose. Yes, the Wankel topic is very strongly anchored in Mazda's history, and of course it also has an influence on the latest technology that we are developing. Because we think the battery should rather not be too big for the reasons mentioned, less CO2 backpack. And for the few times a year that I might want to drive longer, I install a very small compact Wankel engine that drives a generator that produces electricity for driving. That way I can drive much longer distances if I want to than with just the battery. And that's what the Wankel engine is best suited for, because it's very small, very compact and above all very quiet. During the 80s, Mazda was very successful with this model, the 323, a 5-door hatchback that was suitable for singles, couples, but also for families. The compact car presented in 1977 was initially available with a 5-door and 3-door hatchback body, later also as a station wagon. In Germany, the 323 at that time would cost you almost 8,500 Deutschmark. The engines had a displacement of 1 to 1.4 liters and an output of between 45 and 82 horsepower. In the USA, the model was called GLC, short for Great Little Car. For 26 years and a total of 6 generations, the Mazda 323 was a box office hit before production was stopped in 2003. In 1991, with the MX-3, Mazda showed that in Japan you can also be sporty. The 1.6 to 1.8 liter gasoline engines produced between 88 and 133 horsepower. The strongest version, thanks to the low vehicle weight of just under 1.2 tons, managed the standard sprint in 8.5 seconds and reached a top speed of 202 km an hour. Although the production was already stopped in 1996, Mazda was able to sell about 20,000 units of the 4-seater sports coupe in Germany alone. This MX-3 was also a pretty successful model, and when it came out in 1991, downsizing was already a topic, so this one featured a 1.8 liter engine with 6 cylinders. Such a small displacement is very unusual for 6-cylinder engines, especially at this time, but it ensures correspondingly lower consumption. The Mazda brand icon is and remains the MX-5 Roadster, the world's best-selling roadster with well over 1 million units sold since its launch in 1989. Before that, many classic roadsters were almost extinct for various reasons. For example, stricter safety regulations, smaller interior, less luggage space. Since the Mazda market research departments saw no potential for such a vehicle, it is largely thanks to the personal initiative of many developers that the car nevertheless went into series production. At market launch, production of only 5,000 vehicles per year was supposedly planned, 3,000 of them for the USA and 500 for Europe. But by the end of 1990, over 140,000 vehicles had already been produced. The contingent intended for Germany was sold out in only 3 days. Many MX-5s were exported from the USA and Canada to other countries and sold there as grey imports. If you want to see the history of Mazda live, you can do so at the Automobile Museum Frey in Augsburg, Germany. Here you can marvel at vehicles from 100 years of brand history.